Excuse me butting in, but I thought I heard you mutter that there's nothing richer tasting than the taste of Anchor butter.
No, there's nothing richer tasting than the taste of Anchor butter.
The reason's right here are growing out the ground.
It's this green, green grass that grows all year round.
Why, right through the winter you'd find it'd last you, which is why Anchor cows can always eat pasture. That rich, creamy taste, there's no way you can mistake it, even though other spreads try their best to imitate it. When you tried Anchor butter, there's no richer to be found, 'cause only Anchor cows eat grass all the year round.
Fame has come to this New Zealand pig, Barnum Verner of Pukekohe. She's the mother of the world record litter of 19 piglets. Keeping an eye on 19 babies was a bit too much for Verna. She rolled on 2, and then there were 17. Even 17 are quite a stifle. When it's feeding time, you can't move for the litter, so it's first come, first served. Some pigs are just to make people of themselves. With feeding facilities for only 14, there are always 2 sittings for supper. I'm in the second sitting. In an exclusive interview, Verna said, "Thank you, Verna, and now it's time to give the children the air." Barnum Verner is a more food campaign all on her own. Yes, Verna certainly brought home the bacon. It's not bad for a ham. She couldn't have been any rasher.
Something new has been added at Wellington Zoo, and crowds flock to welcome the new elephant. She's a bonny wee thing from Siam, 6 years old at Christmas time, and she tips the scales almost over at 1,500 hundredweight. Thousands of children sent in names for the immigrant, from Waltzing Matilda to Gorgeous Gussie. For the winning pick of Maharani, meaning an Indian princess, Johnny Muter of Western Hut has the first ride. For 4 years, the zoo has been without an elephant, and a zoo without an elephant is like a circus without a clown.
The chimp family are getting scrubbed up ready for school. Bathroom parade isn't very popular, and Baby can think of better places than the tub. But Mrs. Chimp believes in a clean start to the day and no nonsense about it. Charlie's the eldest. He fancies himself. Bit of a show-off, Charlie, but he'll learn. Then there's Chloe, the family beauty. And Chester Chimp. Chester can't understand why he has to wash behind his ears every morning. It's enough to make a fella fed up. Baby knows she's got no show of dodging the tub, so she decides to be good. And now to breakfast. That's much more popular. Charlie is a very dainty eater. Chloe really gets her ears back, but Chester's manners aren't all they might be. Just as well Mum's not looking. Now for Baby's bottle. Mum shakes it up and takes it to her. Baby's being a bit difficult this morning. I'm afraid Mum will have to take a firmer hand with her. Hey, Mum! She's gonna drink her milk and like it. That's a good girl now. Well, children, time for school. Chester and Chloe believe in an early start, and Mum and the baby go to see them off. Goodbye, Mum. Goodbye. Now I better get at those dishes. Here's that smart aleck Charlie. He rides down the path. He's asking for trouble. And he gets it. Boy, what a telling off he's getting. After that, you'd think Charlie'd have more sense. But no, he rides over the footpath and across the road. If that young monkey gets to school in one piece, he'll be lucky. Charlie's coming to a pedestrian crossing. He should give the signal and stop for the people. But he doesn't, and poor Mr. Birdwhistle's frightened out of his wits. Look at him going round that corner without any signal. Too bad if there was a car behind him. No signal again when he crosses over to the school. He'll get killed sure as eggs. Now he's riding across the footpath. What next? The only thing Charlie ever shines at is writing. And is he enthusiastic about it? Lessons over for the day. School comes out and Charlie and Chloe start off for home. But Charlie still doesn't seem to have learnt any sense. Look what he's doing. Double banking Chloe on his bike. That's stupid. It's just inviting trouble. And when a car backs out of a garage, he hasn't time to pull up. Crash! They take a nasty tumble. Anyone would think it wasn't Charlie's fault the way he's going on, and the driver says he'll report him to the police. Serves him right. That tumble really hurt Charlie, and poor Chloe got a nasty bump on her head. You big ape. So it's a sorry pair that limp home bruised all over. But at last Charlie has learnt from painful experience that it just doesn't pay to get up to monkey tricks on your bicycle. But Charlie's behaviour has landed him well and truly in trouble. The people in the town are fed up with him and his dangerous cycling and arrive at the chimp home to tell Charlie where he gets off. Mr. Birdwhistle is furious and the traffic officer has a job to calm him down. Charlie hears the fuss and gets an awful fright and runs away and hides. The traffic officer promises to deal with Charlie and see he doesn't misbehave in future, so the people leave and he goes inside to straighten things out. Poor Mrs. Chimp is upset about it all, and the traffic officer tells her not to worry, he'll have a serious talk with Charlie. He hauls Charlie out and tells him that he's got to stop this dangerous riding and that he must look after his bicycle and himself on the road. He gives him a little book, Safety with Cycles, and tells him to carry out the rules in the book and he won't get into any more hot water. So Charlie studies Safety with Cycles and makes up his mind that in future he'll carry out all the instructions in the little book. And the next morning, the first thing Charlie does is to inspect his bike. Let's see if these tires are all right. Bit soft. They could do with a pump. Now they're firm enough. Now to test those brakes. They seem to be working all right, but he must see if they grip when he moves the bike. Yes, they're gripping well. Today he doesn't ride down the path. He wheels his bike right to the edge of the footpath and stops. Before he mounts, he looks right and left and right. The road's clear, so he keeps well to the left and rides at a steady pace. Still riding well to the left, Charlie is now coming to some people at a pedestrian crossing. So he gives the stop signal well in advance and pulls up at the crossing and lets the people pass. Now the arm signal before turning the corner. He's playing safe today. He's getting near the school and he wants to cross the road. He looks behind first. Nothing's coming, so he gives the arm signal and crosses over the road. Today, Charlie does all the right things. He rides to the edge of the footpath and gets off his bike and wheels it across the footpath and in the gate. Charlie knows now that he can be safe on the roads if he follows the rules in the little book, Safety with Cycles. After school, there's no double banking. Charlie wheels his bike along the footpath and Chloe walks alongside, and they arrive home safely without any bumps or bruises. And that night, Charlie sleeps peacefully because he knows he's been well behaved on the roads, when all of a sudden a beautiful fairy appears. She tells Charlie she's brought him his reward. And Charlie wonders what it is. Diploma. Good cycling for Charlie Chimp. Whoopee!
Wellington's Red Rocks and Cold Cook Strait. Nice place for a swim if you're a seal well covered with fat and fur. Our early sealers slaughtered thousands for their fur until a protection law was passed. Only now are they coming up to strength again, becoming quite numerous at Wellington's back door. Remember Old Bill? Look at that, performing seals. Back flippers to front ones. It's a flippin' salute. Did I shave this morning? Taking a close interest is Mrs. Nartush, an amateur naturalist who lives along the coast. She's quite safe. They only eat squid and octopus. Back in their element. From their breeding grounds on the west coast, they're spreading out to new colonies. Perhaps we'll see more of them next year. Let's hope so, anyway.
Thousands of young rainbow trout just wriggle the time away at an Acclimatization Society's hatchery, waiting till they're big enough to go out into the rivers that make New Zealand an angler's paradise. In a stream running through the game farm, some of the bigger fish go through an elementary stage of their education. Small children have fun feeding the trout, who rise to the occasion in fine style. Baby pheasants also are reared by a foster mother. Later, they will be liberated in the district to make their own hard way through a sporting life. For visitors, Kiwis make the farm's main attraction. Found exclusively in New Zealand, the Kiwi normally lives in the bush and forages only at night. These birds, strays from their natural surroundings, find a good home at the farm and submit with pleasure to feeding and fondling. The long curved beak probes the soil in search of succulent worms. Did someone say something tactless? Or has he just had enough to eat? Darting in and out of a shady patch of clover, this Kiwi makes short work of grubs and insects. Even if the Kiwi can't fly and is earthbound, she certainly isn't egg-bound. For her size, she lays the most astonishing egg in the world. But with typical Kiwi modesty, she thinks nothing of her achievement.
Traffic control of the New Zealand sheep farmer, his dogs. Leaping out for action is the 5-dog team of Mr. Fred Hendrickson of Pongaroa. They're to demonstrate their show day trial skill in a special dress rehearsal. For today, voice signals replace the normal whistled commands, each dog answering to his own name alone. A labour-saving device from way back, the ancestors of these dogs came out with the first Scottish shepherds to come to New Zealand. Non-violence is the code. The sheep are moved by gentle persuasion and a compelling stare.
Come on, Cloud. Steady, Cloud. Come on,
Bred and trained by Mr. Hendrickson, the youngest is 13 months and the oldest 6 years.
Steady.
A trick out of the ordinary is this one. The dogs form a line while another drives the sheep in and out between them. They aren't professional showmen. Back on the farm, they're just ordinary working dogs.
Come behind. Come on, Speed. Here, Speed. Steady now. Get in, Speed. Get in. Come on, boy. Here, boy. Come up, boy. Steady now. Stand. Come on, Speed. Come on, Speed. Stand. Stand, Cloud. Stand. Steady. Stand. Stand, Speed.
A hesitating sheep is soon convinced there's only one approved route.
Stand. Steady now. Steady.
Through the race and onto the bridge. A bridge with a difference. This bridge will have an archway.
Boy. Steady, boy. Stand. Steady. Stand. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come up, King. Stand, Cloud. Steady, Bruce. Stand. Come on, King. Stand. Come up, Cloud. Steady. Come on. Stand. Stand.
This is one place where a ram can't do a U-turn.
Come on, King. Stand. Steady now. Steady. Come on. Come on. Steady.
Penning the sheep is the last step. It looks easy, but a lot of canine coordination is called for. These are heading dogs with a long breeding and working history in New Zealand. Intelligent and reliable, no sheepman can do without them. With all this lot in here, it's a regular land-bound ark. Back at the tour coach, the successful team get their well-deserved praise. As far as they're concerned, a dog's life is the only life, as long as they have someone to share it with.
Between Cape Terrawhiti and the boundaries of Wellington City, only a few miles away in the background, lies the Happy Valley Sheep Station. Its 5,500 acres include some of the most difficult country farmed in New Zealand. The sheer slopes which rise from Cook Strait are frequently crossed by deep watercourses cutting their way down to the sea. Though it's at the city's back door, the country is so steep and broken that all stock moving to and from the sheds has to be driven round the coast to the end of the road at Ohio Bay. Struggling against the high wind which is funneled between the South Island in the distance and the north, the station shepherds are mustering for shearing. Each man brings the sheep from his section into central holding pens set in one of the few areas of flatland on the farm. From the holding paddock, the mob is driven down a steep and rocky ravine to the beach. The sheep are wary of the track and have to be pushed every foot of the way. Occasionally, one breaks away and has to be left. Once on the beach, a 3-hour drive along the coast to Ohio Bay begins. Before a coast drive is made, tides must be studied as the beach is impassable at high water. Even so, valuable stock has been lost in the past when heavy seas have sprung up unexpectedly. On the road now, and the last lap begins. Through Ohio Bay and up Happy Valley to the sheds, where the sheep will be shorn and wethers selected for fattening up country. The farm is entirely hemmed in by the city, and to get to the railway yards, the sheep must be taken right through it down the main thoroughfare, Willis Street. To avoid holding up traffic, the mob will, as in the past, be driven through in the early hours of the morning. Here, Mr. Dorman, the station owner, is handed a permit to do this by the traffic officer whose job it will be to escort the mob through the streets. At Manor Street, there's a hold-up. They must be waiting for the traffic lights to change. Few Wellingtonians ever see this sight, but some partygoers who have seen it have received a severe shock and signed the pledge. For 50 years, this drive has taken place each summer, bringing a touch of the country into the city streets. But this is the last time it will happen. In this mechanical age, it's cheaper and quicker to use transport, and in future the sheep will travel in trucks. The old will make way for the new, and another picturesque feature of Wellington life will come to an end.
Auckland Show, displaying the latest in machinery designed to put good old New Zealand wool through its paces. Fantastic interest by the spectators is evident. A whimsical mannequin parade, just to show the final result. Off the fleece and onto the flesh.
It was cap naps only for pedigree pussies and owners on the first morning of the Auckland Championship show. This pedigree Siamese waited patiently till his mistress was groomed and ready to give him some of the care and attention which was lavished on fine-bred animals coming from as far as Wellington for the big event. At the Auckland Town Hall, fond owners queue up outside the veterinary surgeon's tent. All cats are examined carefully to see if they're healthy before going to their cages. An outbreak of ringworm would be a catastrophe. There were big cats, little cats, he-cats and she-cats. Cats from Abyssinia and cats from Siam. White cats, black cats, grey cats and tabby cats, and other cats the colour of marmalade jam. From the catwalk, exhibitors watched anxiously as the judge, Miss Kathleen York of England, examined each entrant. Colour of fur and eyes, shape of head, length of legs and tail, numerous fine points which help Puss get her name in the feline catalogue. Miss York considered the standard was good, in fact something to write home about. When the judging was over, the public was admitted to the hall, care being taken to exclude all cat burglars. Exhibitors, public and cats alike were interested in the results, and careful attention was paid to the cards which denoted the prize winners in the various categories. Her daddy wouldn't buy her a bow wow. But he surely wouldn't say no to a fascinating little bundle like this. My hat, cat burglars did get in. Mother and family meet mother and family, straight from the cat's cradle. Scratching is catching, isn't it? Junior, are you all right? Yes, Junior was the cat's pajamas. Most cats seemed to enjoy the show, but others took another cat nap till the opening of the cat's bar.
Suzanne is a funnical man, so the song says, and none more funnical than Susie, the pet sow of Andrew Jones of Napier. At West Shore, Susie and Andrew plunge into the surf each day with their Alsatian friend Star and his young master. Equipped with her own snorkel, the young sow puts her bow to the breakers. Her mother was shot by hunters about 5 months ago when Susie was a very small piglet, and since then she's been hand-reared by Andrew. After a short rest, she's ready to swim ashore, following Andrew with pig-like devotion. An affectionate and unusual pet who's won a national reputation as Susie the surf-swimming sow.
So good, other spreads would taste like anchor too if they could. They may try to imitate us, as you can see, but we are anchor cows and do it naturally. Moo moo moo, moo 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 moo. We're the anchor cows and make a butter so good. Other spreads would taste like anchor too if they could. They may try to imitate us, as you can see, but we are anchor